The internet will provide you with a lot of information about being a confident man. To no surprise, most of those things only work on paper. You wouldn't believe how many men end up changing their haircut or wearing certain colognes to somehow enhance their personality. Of course, there's nothing bad in doing that, but these are what you call the icing on the cake. But before the icing, there needs to be the cake in the first place, and that cake is your inner self. Until you have that part pinned down, no type of haircut or cologne will boost your confidence. You could have the freshest haircut or the most expensive perfume on, but the moment someone screams at you, you will back down easily. Truth be told, when it comes to boosting your confidence as a man, it's not even so much about adding new routines, but more about removing certain actions and habits from your life that are killing your masculine confidence. According to research, one of the most common reasons why men seek out therapy is to gain help with confidence and self-esteem. That's correct. We are essentially living through a low self-esteem epidemic. It has become harder than ever before to simply live as a man. It is almost considered taboo for men to talk about their problems. Just think about an average Joe. People would say to you, "Oh, why don't you open up more and share your feelings?" And the moment he does open up, society turns right around and joke, "Who hurt you?" These are things that are all contributing to this epidemic. Hence, the responsibility to be self-assured and confident lies with you. Don't expect society or your mother or your girlfriend to come and save you. I will say it again. The responsibility is ultimately yours. With that said, let's check the 7 behaviors that you must avoid at all costs to win back your confidence. Number 1. Staying in a toxic relationship. Breaking up is rough, and being alone is a scary proposition for many men. But it is better to be alone than to stick around in a toxic relationship. Staying in a toxic relationship is like choosing to stay in your comfort zone. Yes, you may feel safe there for the time being, but you are missing out on the true freedom that lies outside your comfort zone. In these relationships, if the man is on the receiving end of the abuse, he becomes dependent on the woman so much that he doesn't make any decision without first asking for her approval. Why? Because he doesn't want to offend her, because he would be punished otherwise. It's nothing short of Stockholm Syndrome, where the victim begins to feel remorse and sympathizes with the abuser. If you are not in the lead and can't even make decisions for yourself as a man, think about the damage it's doing to your confidence and subconscious. The longer you stay in this relationship, the more this effect compounds. Number 2. Judging yourself too strongly. As men who are driven by ambition and goals, being able to judge yourself is truly a virtue, but only as long as it is kept within limits. Think of your brain like a child. It needs constant reminders so it learns and grows over time. This is why affirmations and journaling are so great, to constantly remind yourself of your goals and targets. But your brain is exactly that, a child, regardless of your age. If you start screaming at it, it's like taking it through childhood trauma. It's like that one analogy of the cup being half empty or half full. Self-judgment is good because you view yourself as half-empty cup and forces you to fill the empty part up. But overdoing it can translate into low self-esteem. This is where gratitude comes in. It forces you to look at your achievements and look at yourself as half-full cup. Wake up every day and look over everything God has helped you achieve. It could be as simple as making your bed. That was a small win that you need to be grateful for. Over time, as these wins compound, so will your gratitude and ultimately your confidence. Number 3. Never spending time to develop a valuable skill. Do you know why an experienced employed man is always more hopeful and positive than his jobless counterpart? Simple. Because the man with the job has a particular skill that the jobless guy cannot match. This skill enhances his value. He trades his skill for the company, society, and community as a whole. As a result, he receives the things that boost his esteem, like financial security, a house, and a car. It also gives him a sense of confidence that he is the sole provider for his family and a positive contributor to the world in general. Number 4. Procrastination. Andrew Tate gave a beautiful analogy for this. Think of a rocket going up into space. Do you think it stops halfway in the sky on its way up? No. The same is true to your work. If you want to hit your target, if you want to touch the sky and reach for those stars, you can't go halfway up into the sky and stop. You can't think, oh, I need to get my shit together for one day, and stop after putting in the work for only one day. You need daily consistent action. Consistency is by far one of the best ways to build your confidence and self-esteem, and procrastination is the greatest arch-enemy of consistency. Most men go through their whole life living in a mode of mindless procrastination. They live in this vicious cycle where they blow one deadline after another. What do you think it's doing to their confidence? And that's not to mention the negative effect of the actual substance they are using to procrastinate, which is 99% of the time social media. Start by creating small milestones to complete a greater task. Let's say you want to be a great singer. Spend a minimum of 30 minutes each day practicing your craft. Learn how to sing on pitch, how to correctly perform falsettos, mixed voice, and so on. Number 5. Not helping others. The selfless concern for the well-being of others can be a very powerful force in a man's life. Living life under virtues like service and kindness makes you feel principled and decent. These attributes will help you establish confidence and self-esteem. On the contrary, a selfish man does not know about the warm feeling that serving others bestows. Think back to the time you gave a homeless person some money. How did it affect your confidence? A selfish man, on the other hand, has a jaded heart that pumps the blood of arrogance through his veins. Remember, all confident men that have ever lived had one thing in common, and that is a relationship with the community. Number 6. Feeling sorry for yourself. You might have felt sorry for yourself numerous times. After all, we are the ones who unconsciously shape ourselves by the thoughts we produce. You may not realize it, but these thoughts are boundaries that you are creating yourself. The more you repeat those thoughts, the stronger the boundary becomes, and the harder it is to break through it. 95% of the men today live in a state of self-pity. This is single-handedly the greatest weapon of self-destruction. It's the equivalent of victim's mentality. Every time you find yourself in this dark place, take action. Go do some push-ups. Go take a shower. Anything to switch back into the present reality. And finally, number 7. Listening to the voices in your head. Life is a gamble. Whoever secures the perfect set of cards to himself wins it. We all start with different sets of cards, but that's no excuse to not try and win. You have to take the risk to win it. It's a shame for a man to surrender to his circumstances if they bring you no benefit, as no millionaire achieved anything without investing. In the same way, you cannot achieve anything in life without taking risks. There is a positive inner voice in every person that can sometimes act as a lifesaver. Listening to it can prove as productive. But there is another harmful voice with the worst intentions. This voice is a dark force that will destroy your confidence if you allow it. It reminds you of your past failures and dangles your insecurities in front of you. It tells you to skip gym day. It tells you that you would rather enjoy a sleep-in and a nice movie instead of living by your virtues. So remember, brothers, confidence is a skill you need to master. Go and take daily consistent action and simultaneously remove the things we discussed today. By the way, don't forget to show some love. Tap that subscribe button and hit like for the algorithm. To see the next best way to level up as a man, watch these videos here.